Now we've got this wall frame here. We've got the door opening frame with the header, and it goes over to that wall. So we are ready to start hanging some drywall. All right, so we've got our framing done. The way we did our bottom plate is a double with a treated lumber on the bottom, as I told you before. So we're going to set a 2x4 underneath it to have the drywall sit on top of that for us to install. Then the homeowner wants to put trim down at that point to cover that bottom plate, but we want the drywall up a little bit just in case there's any flooding down here. With the basement floor having a little bit of a run for drainage, it is going to make this just a little bit cockeyed, but we'll cut it and we'll mud it to fit just how it needs to. So it's 1/2 inch drywall. So we're going to use 1 1/4 drywall screws. When you do this, you want to make sure you don't over tighten. You don't want to break through the paper on the front of the drywall. If you do, it's going to be some trouble. So it'll be a lot of touch up and mud and everything to make up for that. So you want it to just barely sink in. Now, different people have different opinions. You ask 100 people, you're going to get 50 different answers, whether you should start with your drywall running horizontal or vertical. Horizontal makes it to where you have less seams to mud. So I tend to go horizontal. You want to put screws in each stud through the drywall. You want to place them about a foot apart. So for example, a 4-foot section of drywall, you would have 4 screws in that stud going up and down. Now we're going to come behind here. Since we have access to the back side, it makes it a little bit easier. And we're going to go ahead and cut this from the back all the way down so we can open up this doorway. Boom. There you go. We've got our drywall hung for this first section here. We'll just clean this edge up a little bit. But a door is going to go here and casing is going to cover that, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So with having a slope here on the floor, we need to cut our drywall at a bit of a slope to keep the straight line at the top, but to follow this as well. So it's not going to be a straight piece. It's going to have a little bit of a taper to it. So you will measure from the top to the top of this piece of drywall. You take that measurement, you go to the midway point, that measurement, and to the end point over here, and you take that measurement. Then you'll mark those 3 places on a piece of drywall. You'll use a straight edge, so it'll be at a bit of an angle, and you will mark all the way across that straight edge, and that's where your cut will be to make sure that it's going to line up with what you need tapering on this wall. Don't forget the hydrants. It's always a little easier with 2 sets of hands, but you can make it work. And if this is cut right, it should slide right in. Would you look at that? Get a few screws in the drywall to hold it in place. That way, you can then take a straight edge and run a line where your studs are so you know exactly where to screw. I usually like to use a T-square for this if I can, or a 4-foot level. I don't have either one with me today, so this is what it's got to be. Then, just like we did with the first piece, we can score the drywall from behind and then run your knife on the front and cut that out. Now, the way this comes over the door here, you've got to make sure you have somewhere to screw into everywhere in the drywall. Right here, there is nowhere. Our framing is behind here, where I've got some screws marking it. So I'm going to cut that out so that the piece that butts up to it will also have a place to screw into. everything from that point on is the same as you did on the other side. You're just going to line up your drywall, get the bottom piece screwed in, again with the screws being about a foot apart on those studs. So each 4 foot width of drywall is getting 4 screws. Cut the top piece, make any adjustments, get the top piece hung, and you're on to mudding from that point. Don't overthink it. Make sure it's nice and secure to the wall and you don't have any huge gaps. But from that point, it's all in the tape and mud to make it look nice and finished. I hope this was helpful to you. Stay tuned for the next video to find out how to tape and mud.